Hi guys, it's Cass. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel, as Tanamojo says. But today we are actually doing some crocheting, but y'all aren't gonna see this for at least 2 months because I'm starting Christmas gifts. It's November 14th and I'm trying to get all my shit together for Christmas, you know? So we're starting Christmas gifts, and some people who are receiving these gifts will see this video if I post it here because they followed me. So that they don't know what I'm doing, I'm not going to post this until after Christmas. But anyway, this is what we're doing. So today what we're working on is my dad got my mom an iPad for Christmas, and then I got her all the accessories for it, like a case, a long charging cord, whatever, right? And so I'm crocheting her a pouch to put all of said things in, including the iPad with I got her a hard fold out case. I went in my yarn stash, and I was originally going to do black and white, but I ended up doing red and white. This is Mainstays 100% acrylic yarn, weight 4 in white, I assume. It doesn't say, in white. And then this is I Love This yarn, also for weight in the color red. So I had these in my stash. I don't know what they're left over from, but I was originally going to do black and white, decided to do red and white because my mom's from Alabama, born and raised, so she's an Alabama fan. Gross. So one of Alabama's things is Houndstooth, the Houndstooth pattern, which is normally black and white, right? We're doing it red and white because her favorite color is red, and also the Alabama colors are red and white, right? So now I've started. So the right side, that is the right side. Okay, so I started. This is she. This lighting is kind of bad. Okay, it's better if it's closer. It's better if it's closer. But this is she. So it's going well. I literally just Googled a YouTube tutorial of how to do Houndstooth, and then I made it to the measurement that I need. I did it based off of my iPad because turns out she's getting the exact same one that I got. So I'm doing it based off of my iPad, and because it'll fit, it'll go like this, and it'll be like a cute little case, right? So here's the thing. I already realized I could have done this an easier way, because in my head I was like, okay, make 2 panels and then just sew them together, right? I could have just made 1 long panel. I could have made this twice as long, then just folded it over and only had to sew this side and the bottom. I could have done that. I really could have. Did I? No. So anyway, this is where we're at, and I'm not going to redo it because it looks good and I'm proud of myself for counting correctly. First of all, that's a problem with me. But anyway, this one worked out, right? So I'm going to make 2 of these. First of all, I'm going to get them to a height where they will cover the whole iPad, right? Gonna make a second one. Then I'm gonna put them wrong sides together, sew it, flip it inside out. Now the question is, I do want it to have some sort of fasten at the top. I don't know what kind though. I don't know if I should do a little button, if this was the top, do a button here and then do an elastic across the top. I guess that would be the simplest. Or I could make it a fold come down. My problem with the fold is I don't know how to do the fold as a Houndstooth pattern. And that would take math and finagling. And do I want to do that? I don't know. It kind of depends on how I feel in the moment. And we're not there yet. But so this is what we're doing. This is how far I've gotten. And I am going to do not a tutorial. I looked up how to do this myself. I'll link her video because that was actually good. But I may make a pattern for whatever pouch I end up doing with like the dimensions. Like if you use a size 4 yarn, 4 weight yarn, and I'm using a 5, yeah, I'm using a 5mm crochet hook or an H hook, and do it like however many stitches, however many rows, however I fasten it. I may do that. We'll see. Also, I kind of want to make one of these for myself, but not in Houndstooth. I want to do tapestry crochet, but as soon as I try to add a third color into anything I'm doing, I get frustrated because of how the yarns get tangled. Like even with doing this, every time I turn, I have to flip the 2 skeins or else the yarn will get tangled, right? And that's infuriating. So I don't know. I really want to do some tapestry crochet. Here's the problem. I have an art degree, so I can draw it, right? Like I can go on my iPad and I can draw it and then grid it and like make such cute things. But then you have to take a hook and you have to deal with the yarn and you have to physically do it. And then it's like, this is why I was 2D in college and not 3D. How I got to be in 3D now, who the fuck knows? How I got from like doing flat things on paper to physical things, who knows? Who saw this for me? Not me. But, okay, I'm gonna finish this. Like get this up to height, and then I'm gonna come back when I'm starting the other one and I'm gonna roughly show you how I did it. Again, not a tutorial. I'm gonna link, I forget who the person was, but I'm gonna link them in the description with a video of what taught me how to do Houndstooth. It's really easy. I know it looks hard. I promise. It is not hard. It's not tedious. I would tell you if it was. I would not have done this in like, I don't know, maybe an hour, hour and a half, if it was hard, right? So, I'll see you then. It's day 2, technically night 2, but I also started this at night. I work at night, so anyway, also better lighting because I put a lamp right there. We're learning. It does make a shadow though. Anyway, okay, so I have completed one panel. Which side is this? Is the right side. I've completed one panel. This is the size, front, back, and I am this far through with the next side because I need 2 panels to like make the pouch. Still haven't figured out what I want to do to fasten it. We haven't gotten there yet. But, okay, I don't have measuring tape in here, but I can't tell you how many rows. It is 35 chains across at the bottom because I'm going up this way, right? Because Houndstooth isn't like this, it's like this, right? So it's 35 chains across because Houndstooth is a multiple of 2 plus 1 when you do your starting chain. So 35 chains. How did I already forget the number to go up? I think it's 37. Hold on. Okay, I was right. It's 37 chains up. I just double counted to make sure. 37 chains up. And roughly I've had, so it like covers it like just enough, right? Because I don't want it to have a bunch of extra space on it. Also, I am carrying my yarn through, so like this is 2 continuous pieces of yarn, and I'm just using whichever color I need to use for the row and then carrying through the other color. And because of the way Houndstooth is, you really don't see it, so I think it works really well. I will say it does make it thicker because you have an extra piece of yarn throughout the whole center of it, which I like that it's thicker because I'm making a pouch, so obviously it's going to hold some weight, so I like a thicker yarn for that. But also, if you don't want your Houndstooth to feel so thick, you can do 1 row, cut the chain, add the next color, do a row, cut it, add the next color, do a row, cut it. Like, you can do it where you cut every single row, which makes it thinner, but that is so much more work. Oh my god. And then imagine all those ends that you have to get rid of. So this I would recommend doing as long as you're okay. It's really not that thick, but it's, I don't know, your prerogative, whatever. But if you're making this, we're making 2. I told you the dimensions of this one. We're making a second one. And when I get done with that, then we're going to put them together and sew it. I mean, I'm going to sew it or crochet it. Who knows? I'll figure that out when I get there. But that's where we're at so far. So we'll see how much I get done tonight. So I know I said I would come back when I had the 2 pieces. I kind of finished the whole thing. But hey, it turned out cute. Right? And then inside, this is the case I got for Mom's iPad. And then I got her long charging cable and a little dongle adapter. So the pouch. My mom's iPad is the 9th generation 10.2 inch. That's what this is, the case for. And so I made this slightly bigger. It's like 11 inches by like 8.5, I think. Like the size of a sheet of paper, roughly, is what I was going for. And all I did was I made the front and the back as 2 separate sheets. Now I'm thinking about paper. I made the front and the back as 2 separate panels. And then I flipped this. Flip it back. So I sewed them together with a piece of yarn and a yarn needle. And I sewed them this way. I sewed them where you put both pieces right sides facing each other. So this is the back of Houndstooth, and the right sides are inside. And then start on one side, I just did in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, all the way around 3 sides with a piece of the red yarn and just a yarn needle. So all the way around. I did snip these little edges so that they were kind of hidden. And then I had 2 edges up here where I just wove in my ends. And so now you have inside out. And then all you have to do is flip it back, just like a sewing project. And then you just gotta re-pop out the corners. I have long nails, they're grown out, but I have long nails. So I just kind of stick my nail into the corner there until it like pops back out. And I'll do the same thing to this corner till it pops back out. And then you got yourself a little pouch. I will say I made this pouch so that it's kind of wide, because it's not just to hold the iPad in the case.
I also wanted it to hold like her little dongle. I don't know where the adapter went, but the little dongle and adapter and charging cord, I wanted it all to fit in here. So I made it a little bit wider. If I were to make this just, like, take this out, just for an iPad in the iPad case, I would probably make it exactly the size. Like, I would keep the same height, but I think I would make the width, instead of 8.5, 8. Because when you put these two together, it's going to give a little bit. So it should just slide right in there with that little extra give. With what I did now, it's like, it's pretty loose. And that's just because it's made to fit more. But if you didn't want anything else to go in here, I would make it, like, instead of 8.5 inches wide, I would make it 8. Just make it a little bit tighter. And I've also decided I'm not going to put a top on it. I'm not going to put like a clasp or anything on it, because I don't want to mess up the houndstooth pattern. And I didn't want to make like a fold over, because I think that was too much. I think this works well. So that's crochet gift for Christmas number 1. Checked off. Done.